In a market defined by uncertainty, where every second counts, one opportunity can change everything. Are you ready to make your move? The time is now! Welcome to the Dream is Real podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Dream is Real podcast. Today we're just sitting down talking about the Dream Select Realty atmosphere. But before we begin, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on those notifications so you don't miss another fun episode. Hey, Gwen Alt, welcome back. Let's get into this. So, how do you like it here over at Dream Select Realty?
I can't stand it. I'm kidding.
Oh, wow. Who is it, the broker?
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Tell us all about
Listen,
it.
that damn broker. We're not even going to start. I'm kidding.
Y'all know I'm partial to that, so be careful.
You have Big Sister beating you up there.
I watch my back on the way out. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's a really great, environment. Because honestly, anytime you walk in here, everybody's really always just ready on their grind. It's always usually, straight to business. And I don't mean like in a bad way where it's like, you can't pop out a little joke or something here and there. But, more along the lines of just come in, Kim is maybe working on a listing, or Gwen following up with some clients that are inquiring, about trying to list with us, or, LeVar basically kind of coming up with some new ideas that could help the brokerage grow. So, I love that, feeling of walking in here and just so much going on, and it really just feels like inspiring, so the moment that I get into the office, it kind of like helps me to shift my mindset and just be like, all right, you know what, it's go time when I get in here, not just, you showing up to work. And, most jobs you come to work to kind of do your job anyway, but with real estate, it's not just that straightforward, right? Like you're not just walking in to just kind of do your job. It's really, kind of chasing things and making sure that, you're figuring out how to get things lined up for those next few opportunities. So the fact that everybody's just usually kind of on that type of grind, just on that kind of time, makes the environment feel, just that much better when you walk in, especially as a new agent where you're not always completely sure what you're going to do,
Gwen, what about you? How do you like working with your baby brother?
Yes.
The big little brother.
Exactly.
No complaints. Gonna keep it professional. No complaints. I've always gotten along with my brother and brothers, I should say. So no complaints. I'm learning a lot from him, even though I'm the older sister here. But I'm learning a lot here with him. He's the king of real estate. So I'm learning from the best. That's how I feel. Like Alt said, it's a good atmosphere here, and always someone to help you. He set up plenty of channels where we all can reach out as agents and ask questions and, get responses right away. He has a mentorship here. So, any new agents coming in, anybody who would like to be a part of Dream Select Realty, give us a call. The mentorship program here is really good. You'll never feel like you're in this alone.
Agreed.
So that is one good thing, because I've said before, I've been at other brokerages and I did feel like I didn't know what I was doing, back when I was like really new. So to have someone here to walk you through the process and teach you step by step is a good thing. I think that's a plus, big plus.
And for you, like, since you're a little bit more seasoned, you said you worked at another brokerage. Like, was there a difference in the atmosphere there? Like, when you kind of, ever showed up to the office to do anything, like, do you see similarities? Anything that like just they're doing over there that might have been great, or, is it just that much better here?
It's just that
Honestly,
much better. I don't know. I can't answer that question for you. I said it's just that much better. No.
I
No,
agree.
really it is, because like I said, I felt alone and like, okay, well, what do I do next? And even when I tried to ask a question, I felt like it was like, leave me alone, like, figure it out. And just, I felt alone basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's huge because I feel like, when it comes to that kind of stuff, like, even from outside of real estate, since I'm coming from outside of real estate, like, when you come into an environment where people like feel like they hiding everything or not, I don't want to necessarily say that they hiding things, but kind of like how you touched on with the mentorship where it's like, you're really trying to learn from the people that's already been here and you're trying to, really extend that hand, but no hand is coming back to you. It really sucks. It really kind of drives you away. So, I think that's definitely huge here where you said like that mentorship, like just being able to walk in here and know that, hey, if I got questions, y'all gonna help me out. And even if, it's not you or Kim, like you said, we got those channels. You could just generally go out there and just throw questions in there. Somebody's gonna respond. And we got a lot of seasoned agents that can, you can tap into, as resources and really kind of, help figure it out wherever it is you're trying to go.
Very true. So now we kick it back to you, Kim.
So what you want to know?
How do you feel about working at Dream Select Realty?
It's stressful. Let me say. Let me say.
Sorry, LeVar can't,
No.
LeVar
Job
can't hear
has its stress.
LeVar can't hear us right now.
No, it's just the amount of work that he throws on your plate. I'm just kidding. No. But like you said, it is awesome working here. As one of the office admins and also an agent, like I've seen some of some of our newer agents come in and, once you get your license, you have to, quote unquote, interview your broker, right? So I've sat down with some of these new agents and the stuff that they'll tell you about how other brokerages, like you had mentioned, they want your name on the wall. It's an extra click that is giving them, oh, okay, we got another agent.
It's that part.
But a lot of times, like, they're not really doing anything to help you out. Like, I've gotten plenty of calls from people that's like, oh, why don't you come on over, switch to our real estate firm. And they're like, we offer this and we offer that. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But you're offering the same thing that he's offering, and he's offering it hands-on. Like,
Right.
when it comes to our open houses, we have a new agent. It doesn't matter whose listing it is. We are all open, welcome to go out to these open houses and partner with everybody, show them the ropes and get them going and helping them understand, like, okay, this is what you do and this is how you do this and all that stuff. So honestly, I can say from working with LeVar and working with him so closely in the office on a darn near, I feel like I see him as much as his wife. But but yeah, it's awesome. It really is. It's good. Like he's willing to work with you. And especially if you show the interest and you're willing to put in the work, he's willing to stay there side by side with you. Like if you don't want to do the work, unfortunately, that's part of the game. You're only gonna make what you're willing to do.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to sit up here and work for the commission checks, you're not gonna make anything. So when you see 2-3 years down the line and you've done one listing and then there's nothing else going, you can't blame it on your broker because you're not willing to try and do that work. You got to be willing to do the work.
Yep. That's the real estate game.
It's the real estate game.
I guess, Kim, like, when you initially came into real estate, was there like a different expectation in your mind of like kind of, how the environment was going to be in here? Because I know like when somebody asks you to say, hey, sign on with my brokerage, you have no idea kind of what to expect. So, I mean, in your mind, did everything kind of eventually line up with what you was hoping it would be? Or
So when I signed up, I was already working with LeVar. So I did not sign up with Dream Select Realty as an agent. At that point, it really wasn't a sign up. I was working with him as his office assistant. So that's where I started out. And we was doing the podcast. And I was reaching out to a bunch of different guests. And I was sitting in the background and I'm listening to the guests with Jason. And I'm getting all this knowledge. And then as we're setting up open houses and we're getting together paperwork to send over to the attorneys, because now you got a deal that's going through and you got to get everything over to the attorneys so they can start drafting up the contracts. I'm learning that whole route of everything. I was working with the agents at the time, Gwen and a couple of others who were here, and it was like I was learning the whole thing. And then LeVar was like, "Why don't you just go and get your license?" And I was like,
encouragement.
we'll worry about that later. And it took maybe about 6 months before he actually convinced me to actually go and do the test and actually get my license. And I got my license. And at that point, I was already here. I just stayed here. I knew how things was running. It was a well-oiled machine, as you could say.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
I mean, go
So,
ahead. Go ahead.
so what about like the fun? Like the different fun that we have here, the different skits. Somebody almost falling. How was that today? How was that?
Wow.
We're not going to talk about how y'all almost set me up. 'Cause, you know,
We
usually
didn't
when
set
I
you
walk,
up with the-
usually
with
when
the-
I walk in there, there's usually a chair in that spot that I sit down in every time. But somehow, conveniently today, there happened to not be a chair, and a man is tired.
Wow. See, I think it was a setup. You beat me here.
Oh, so they
So
were looking for you.
if I had come in first, then it would have been me.
See? So
Thank you for taking it
I'm
out.
about to say, we're going to chalk that up to another favor that you owe me then at that point.
Wow, we gonna go there?
He still insists that he did that closing without you.
Oh, man.
Oh,
He
we
did that
not
deal,
gonna-
right?
These are rumors.
Yes, we did have that conversation.
That wasn't recorded. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
was
yes, it was recorded.
Don't let us go back to the footage now. Oh yes.
If I ain't see it, I can't believe it. So unless I see video footage, that ain't never happened.
Well, you saw the video footage of you almost falling today. That happened. But yeah, it's fun here. We have our laughs and giggles here. It's not just all work, which makes it a good environment. You know, we work when we know we need to work and get into it, but then we have our moments of fun.
Yeah, no, I think that's huge too because he, LeVar is always definitely trying to experiment with different things. So, like you mentioned about skits, those kind of stuff like that, those are great because again, like as an agent, a lot of times you're thinking about making content, right? Not everybody that gets into the game has already been making content before you got into the game, right? So learning how to make content is a whole nother skill itself. So I think getting a chance to experiment with some of this stuff really kind of, one, gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit, which is what you need to grow. But two, also, inspire you as well too to say, hey, you know what? Like I could come up with content for myself as well too. I think that's been, big on my part as well because every time we're in here, either, working on a podcast or coming up with, fun ideas for a skit or coming up with a serious skit to really kind of promote yourself. But, then that also makes me like, when I'm on my own time, like what else can I come up with? Now, I'm starting to work on these skills. Like, so I should be able to kind of come up with content on my own too. But I don't know if any other brokerages are doing that. Not from what I can see. Most of it is just very general advertising that I see out there where people are like, usually it's their face, maybe some music behind it, and then some, some images floating by with, stuff on there rather than actually having your people there talking on the camera and really kind of building that, personality or that, that social media personality, which I think is huge for your real estate career, right? Because especially in this time and day, what is everybody doing? Social media.
Social media.
Right. So if you can't, get in front of a camera and talk, it's only going to make things, one, either that much harder for you, but I think it also helps you from the client perspective too, right? Because every time you go out there and you're dealing with a new client, what's it like? It's unfamiliar territory as well too. So if you can get on there in front of camera and ready to kind of promote yourself in front of a bunch of people, going to go deal with one client shouldn't be that hard either, right? So I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand. But, what I'm just really trying to touch on is the fact that coming up with these different things and trying these different ideas, even though we might not be doing it intentionally to develop the skill, you're really developing skills from it, is where I'm getting, is what I'm trying to get at with it.
So you feel real comfortable right now. That's what you're telling us?
Extra comfortable, but I mean, that's because I don't think the camera's recording, but.
Yeah, I definitely can say it being here has taken me out of my comfort zone,
Oh,
which is a good thing.
I mean, definitely always hear the saying, or not always hear the saying, but one saying that always stuck with me is, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Very true.
You know, and that's one thing that I think happens here, not in a bad way. Again, you know, it's things that you're doing to help yourself as well too, because you're your own brand at this point, right? So learning how to get, you know, or find comfort in this, you know, uncomfortable zone that, you know, we kind of put ourselves in, which now is no longer uncomfortable. We're just here kind of doing it like second nature, right? Look at us, everybody behind a microphone, behind a camera right now, just making a podcast. So who would think that we'd be here, right?
not me.
Me either. Me either. I still get nervous though.
Yes.
I think everybody does, right? Like at the end of the day, like
You guys should see all the bloopers.
Really.
I was gonna say, like, if some people do post the behind the scenes stuff too, right? Like, so when they post the behind the scenes, you kind of see all the mess ups. But you know, at the end of the day, just because you see people made a successful video, don't mean that they ain't nervous and screwing it up. Now we know, right? Because we've been behind the scenes a few times, but
True.
it's part of it. So I don't think it's ever gonna completely go away. You'll find comfort in it, but I don't think it's ever gonna be like, you know what? I'm waking up today. I just can't wait to be on a camera. Like,
Some people might feel that way.
yeah, no knock to anybody that's like that. You know, the actors out there that are really doing their thing, but you know, it still takes a lot. And even those people, like you know, I'm sure they go through their times too, where they like look forward to kind of unplugging and getting away. You know, because you're in front of the camera 24/7. Now, when they in their personal time, what do they want? No cameras a lot of the time, right? So
True.
All right. Well, thanks again, Gwen Alt. Thanks for stopping in, shooting the breeze with us. Guys, once again, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Dream is Real podcast. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on those notifications so you don't miss another episode. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Dream Select Realty, on X at Dream Select Home. If you have a story to tell, you want to be a guest on our show, contact us at hometeam@dreamselectrealty.com. And always remember, the dream is real.